Hi everybody, and welcome to Truck King. So a question we get on the channel quite often is, what do you guys own? So most people know Steve has Big Green, his 85 K10. I've also got a 1971 C10. And these are old trucks. As far as new trucks are concerned, we don't own any simply because we drive everybody else's stuff. However, this year I finally succumbed to that bug and bought my very first brand new pickup truck in my life. I've owned a lot of trucks, but they've all been used. And that's it here right behind me. 2019 2500 Ram, and that has the Cummins. And I want to talk to you about why I picked this truck as my first brand new vehicle. Okay, so I bought this truck in May of this year, the year of the pandemic. And I'll talk about that in just a second. But this is actually a 2019, and it's the 6.7 liter Cummins with the 6-speed Asian or Eisen, however you like to pronounce it. So this particular 6.7 Cummins is the 370 horsepower, 850 pound-feet of torque version. There is now the 1,000 pound-feet of version, but frankly, I didn't need it. I didn't want to pay for it. I didn't get it. So the other thing that we'll show you here is the appearance package. This is the Midnight Edition, so it's blacked out. There's no chrome on here. And quite honestly, it's my wife that really liked this. And because she really liked it, I bought it. It made that whole purchase decision that much easier. This is also just a Bighorn. And again, we'll talk about that in just a second in terms of what's your biggest bang for your money. Now, if you're the kind of guy who wants to sit down, order the new truck off of the spec sheet, get it built for yourself, then you and I are not on the same page. I'm always looking for what I want, but I want it at the best price possible. And hence the reason that what I did in 2020 May is I started searching online for 2019 trucks. Now, that was the generational upgrade. So I knew I was getting everything that was new and everything that was good in this Ram. But I was looking for 2019s that were already built and sitting on dealer lots, and I was counting on the fact that they weren't moving that well last spring. So the Bighorn, I found this at a volume dealer, and he actually did what I thought was smart. He brought in Bighorns, and then he put about $20,000 worth of options on them versus bringing in a whole lot of limiteds, because again, like a limited is a beautiful truck, but I would have ended up with things that frankly I didn't really want, and therefore I don't want to pay for them. However, circle all the way back around to I bought the truck that I needed because this year my wife finally retired, and we are going to start doing that snowbird thing. So for all of our American viewers, watch out, because I'll be coming south just as soon as they open the freaking border. So this will haul my fifth wheel. We're looking at about a 35-foot fifth wheel, 14,000 pounds. So this is more than adequate for that. And the other thing too is the Cummins. I wanted the Cummins. I've been dealing with Cummins and writing about Cummins for 25 years. I love that engine. It's what I wanted. So those were the key items. This had to haul my fifth wheel. It wanted the Cummins. And again, the appearance package, that sold my wife. I don't mind that this is a Bighorn, which is only one step up from base. So cloth seats, that sort of thing, because the dealer in question, he did put in the big screen, he did put in a lot of the electronics inside, and it worked out perfectly for us. So far, I've only made one modification on the truck. I stripped off the OEM tires, and I substituted these Toyo Open Country AT3s. Now, this is a brand new tire, and the only thing I can say about it is that we're testing them for Toyo, and I can't talk about them for a while, but we're going to get through the winter, and come spring, watch for a full review on these tires. So I also have to apologize for the truck being dirty, but hey, this is Ontario and it is November, and sadly, a day doesn't go by that we don't get rain, snow, sleet, and of course, slush. And this is what happens. So back there, you'll see that the trailer's hooked up right now. We've just finished testing this Yamaha and it has to go back. So apart from the fact that I'll be hauling my fifth wheel with this truck works pretty much all the time. We try to use as many of the press vehicles as we can for this, but sometimes it doesn't work out. I got to use my own truck. But hence the reason why this 3/4 ton does it all. It doesn't make any difference how heavy the thing is, how big the trailer is, and I'm never going to be outgunned with this. And I decided when I bought my first new truck that I wasn't going to go halfway. I wanted to do it like this. Now, back to the 2019. And I'm going to mention this. There's going to be people who are going to say, yeah, Howard, I know all about this stuff. But there's a lot of people who don't. There's two key factors in the sales cycle. One is when the model years change, and the other one is when the generations change. And those are both opportunities to find the truck that you want and pay less for it. So in May of 2020, there's still a crap load of 2019s on the lots. So I didn't bother with ordering a new truck, and most of the manufacturers, and Ram in particular, has an excellent website that you can go on and put in exactly what you're looking for in terms of model, size, engine, and then put in the distance that you're willing to travel. And all this stuff comes up. In my case, I started with Ontario. I even extended that and said, well, you know what? I don't care. I'll travel 1,000 miles if I find the right truck. I'll fly out, I'll drive it home. So in each individual case, I'm finding actually built vehicles. Then it's a real quick phone call. Hi, I see you've got something on the lot. This is what you're asking. I want to do a deal. What are you willing to do? And then I started making a shorter list and a shorter list and a shorter list. Now you got to be willing to do the work, because I probably spent the better part of 3 weeks working this every single day. And of course, that list changes. And what happened in my particular case is that I found this truck. My wife really liked that paint scheme. I got a hold of the dealer. He quoted me a price. I said, you know what? I said, you're only a bighorn. I said, and even though you've got a lot of options on there, you're only a bighorn. You need to come lower. He said, nope, that's as best as I can go. I said, very good. I got a few other things to call about. 2 days later, I called him back. I said, you know what? I like your truck, but yeah, you got to come down. He started to come down. I said, yeah, that's pretty good, but not good enough. There's one up in Sarnia I like. 2 days later, I called him back. He said, yeah, you know, I'd really like to get that off my lot. He came down some more. About a week went by and we finally came to that point where I felt he'd bled enough and I got enough. We made a deal, and there's my brand new truck.
All right, Dad, good story so far, but I think everyone has the same question I do. What did you pay for the truck? What did you end up laying down at the dealer?
Okay, well, let me put it this way. The MSRP on the truck, which, as you know, we always have to quote that, and this will also demonstrate the difference between MSRP and what you got out the door. MSRP on the truck was just over $85,000 Canadian, and I ended up paying $64,000 Canadian. Now, another point to this, as I said, is timing is everything, and when you look at the changeover in generations and over in model years, Ram was offering no charge diesel. So right off the bat, that was almost $9,000. It was almost $9,000 for the Cummins upgrade. So right off the bat, any truck I looked at, I knew, boom, I'd take that off. Now that was only on the 2019s, not on the 20s. So that was key for me, and that's why I stuck with the 19s. And then, of course, there was other incentives. And then at the end of the day, there was a dealer. And let's face it, May was a tough month for these guys. They were sitting there, they had a whole pile of inventory, and he wanted to make a deal. So, pick your moments as well. There's different times of the year where dealers are sitting with more inventory than other times, you know. So it really, really matters as to what year you're looking at, what accessories you want to get, and how far you're willing to go to make that deal. So
Dad, I'm excited about the truck because when we have a chance to show you guys a brand new truck, but we can finally show you guys what the ownership experience is like. You know, we get these trucks for a week at a time. Clearly we can do some testing in that time, but you can't talk about longevity. Here we absolutely can. So definitely look out for the truck in the future. Let us know what you want to see, of course, too. Go in the comments and let us know what kind of tests you'd like to see or what kind of updates you want to see on the truck. And then I think finally, Dad, you're behind the wheel right now. Just tell us what you like about it. You know, you've been driving this truck for almost a year now.
Well, one thing I'll say again is when you're looking at existing stock, it always comes down to the type of dealer and the area that they're in. They know their customers. So this particular guy took a Bighorn, which, as I said, is only one level up from base, but he put the big screen in, he put the nav in, he added all the towing implements and accessories, everything from the package, the mirror, the exhaust brake, sunroof, and then things like this heated wheel, which honestly I'm old. I couldn't do without the heated wheel. I got the seats, and there's enough other electronics and courtesy features in here that makes it wonderful. But I'll just throw one thing out there. When you get into the higher levels, particularly with Ram, they want to sell you that deployable step, you know, the electric step that comes out. And as much as I love that, sorry, in my climate, with the salt, with the snow, with the ice, I don't want it. I don't want it, and it was driving me crazy that when I was looking at some of the more expensive trucks, that there were these items on there that I was like, I don't want that. So it made more sense for me to go lower and then try to find the dealer who'd already added all those items that I thought were going to be important. So, but I'm telling you, be willing to put in the time, because I can't even tell you, like I said, it's probably 3 weeks or maybe more from start to finish, and 2 to 3 hours every day searching and searching and searching.
Yeah.
So,
well, I guess that's it for this one then, folks. You've heard about the buying experience. You're going to hear a lot more about this truck. Go down there in the comments, and like I said, let us know what you think. And then, as always, make sure you keep coming back here to Truck King to see what we're testing next. See ya.
Bye now.